we are going to discuss about NEET UG MCQs. Okay. So myself, Dr. Sheban, MBBS DCH, postgraduated from Madras Medical College. So this is our part 67 MCQ. My first MCQ is a repeated old MCQ. Okay. Phosphorus is a sedimentary type. True or false? Phosphorus is a sedimentary type. It is a true statement. For gaseous type of nutrient cycling, which is specific. For gaseous type of nutrient cycling, which is specific. Gaseous. For gaseous, it is carbon. So when they give 4 choice, it will be confusing. They will give methane, ethane, carbon dioxide they will give. So what is the question for carbon? In gaseous type of nutrient cycling. Purification of air. Purification of air by forest is called what? Purification of air by the forest is called ecosystem service. Is called ecosystem service. Rex is a fish. True or false? REX. Rex is a biggest dinosaur. It's the biggest. Specific for 65 MYA. In India, 65 MYA. Dinosaur disappeared from Earth. What is the question? 65A. What is bog? B-O-G. Bog. Bog is a free floating plants. What is the question? Bog. Which is called the terror of Bengal. Terror of Bengal. Acrophoniocorisis is called the terror of Bengal. It's called the terror of Bengal. Birds are affected by eutrophication. True or false? Birds are affected by eutrophication. True or false? Birds are affected by biomagnification. Birds are affected by biomagnification. 3 Mile Island. 3 Mile Island. In India. 3 Mile Island. In India. Accidental leakage of nuclear energy. This was the match the following MCQ. Accidental leakage of nuclear energy is related to 3 Mile Island. What is slash and burn? Slash and burn. Slash and burn is a type of agriculture. Slash and burn is a type of agriculture. Story of life on earth is called what? Story of life on earth is called biology. Story of earth. Story of life on earth is called biology. Binary fission is for east. True or false? Binary fission is for east. True or false? Binary fission is for amoeba and paramecium. Amoeba and paramecium. What is the question? Binary fission. Binary fission is for amoeba and paramecium. Buds for what? Buds for yeast and hydra. So yeast and hydra, the question is buds. So buds for yeast and hydra. Most single called organism reproduced by most single celled most single celled organism reproduced by what? Most single celled organism reproduced by binary fission. Most single celled organism multiplies by binary fission. Sporulation. The word sporulation is for penicillin. True or false? Penicillium. The word sporulation is for penicillium. True or false? Sporulation is for amoeba. Encystation is for hydra. True or false? Encystation is for hydra. True or false? Encystation is for amoeba. Is a correct statement. Buds is for amoeba. True or false? Buds is for yeast. Is a correct statement. So buds is for yeast. 3-layered cyst is for paramomycium. True or false? 3-layered cyst. 3-layered cyst is for amoeba. 3-layered cyst. Most common asexual reproductive structure. Most common asexual reproductive structure is zoospores. Most common asexual reproductive structure is zoospores. In implantation, blastocyst is embedded in myometrium. True or false? In implantation, blastocyst is embedded in myometrium. Is embedded in endometrium of uterus. So implantation happens in endometrial layer of uterus. Primary spermatocytes are formed from spermatids. True or false? Primary spermatocyte is formed from spermatids. True or false? It is formed from spermatogonia. Secondary spermatocytes to spermatid is meiosis. True or false? Secondary spermatocytes to spermatids is meiosis. True or false? It is a true statement. Chromosome pattern for normal male. Chromosome pattern for normal male. Chromosome pattern for normal male is XY. For normal male is XY. Cells in the inner cell mass is called what? Cells in the inner cell mass is called stem cells. Or they will ask, what are stem cells? That time you must answer cells in the inner cell mass. What is stem cells? Cells in the inner cell mass. Cortisol is involved in parturition. What do you mean by parturition? Normal vaginal delivery. What do you mean by parturition? Normal vaginal delivery. So cortisol is involved in parturition is a correct statement. Estrogen involved in parturition. True or false? Estrogen is involved in parturition. It is a true statement. Progesterone, progesterone is involved in parturition. True or false? Progesterone involved in parturition is a wrong statement. It's a wrong statement. Oxytocin involved in parturition. True or false? Oxytocin is a true statement. Blastocyst is formed from repeated mitotic division of zygote. True or false? Blastocyst is formed from true or false? It is a true statement. 2 ovum is released in per menstrual cycle. True or false? 2 ovum is released in menstrual cycle. True or false? 2 ovum. Only 1 ovum. Lac operon is a prototype of virus. True or false? Lac operon is a prototype of virus. Lac operon is a prototype of bacteria. Lac operon. The word lactose is related to what? MCQ. The word lactose is related to operon, or operon is related to which sugar? That time we must answer lactose. Lactose is related to operon, or the last operon is related to which sugar? That time lactose. Regulation of translation is the primary step in gene expression. Regulation of translation. The correct answer is regulation of transcription. Regulation of transcription is the correct answer. Regulation of transcription is the correct answer. Activated sludge is for secondary treatment of sewage. True or false? Activated sludge for the secondary treatment. In area, secondary treatment, activated sludge. It is a true statement. So activated sludge is for secondary treatment of sewage is a correct treatment. Biogas is involved in the primary treatment of sewage. True or false? Biogas. So biogas is always related to secondary treatment in sewage. So biogas, secondary treatment. Genetic engineering is also called recombinant DNA technology. DNA recombinant technology is also called genetic engineering. Example of palindromic, PALIN, palindromic. Classical example of palindromic is the classical example of palindromic is the classical example of palindromic. This pair, palindromic. DNA ligase cut the strands of DNA. True or false? DNA ligase cuts the strand of DNA. The correct answer is restriction enzymes cut the correct strands of DNA. Restriction DNA cuts the correct strand of DNA. Length of DNA sequence inspected by length of DNA sequence is inspected by restriction endonuclease. This was a repeat MCQ. Restriction endonuclease. What is the question? Length of DNA sequence inspected by restriction endonuclease. The release of ovum is correctly called. The release of ovum is also called ovulation. The exact release of ovum is called ovulation. Corpus luteum is formed from. Corpus luteum is formed from Graafian follicle. Corpus luteum is formed from Graafian follicle. Which layer of uterus? Which layer of uterus is involved in menstruation? Which layer of uterus is involved in menstruation? Which layer of uterus is involved in menstruation? It is endometrium. 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 Graafian follicle secretes progesterone. True or false? Graafian follicle secretes progesterone. It is a false statement. Graafian follicle progesterone is a false statement. Corpus luteum secretes progesterone. True or false? Corpus luteum secretes progesterone. It is a true statement. Maintenance of endometriosis. Maintenance of endometrium is by estrogen. Maintenance of endometrium is by estrogen. True or false? Maintenance of endometrium is by progesterone. Maintenance of endometrium is by progesterone. During pregnancy, menstruation is regular. True or false? During pregnancy, menstruation is regular. During pregnancy, there is no menstruation. During pregnancy, there is no menstruation. Menstruation is a result of. Menstruation is a result of dash. It's a result of disintegration of endometrium. Disintegration of endometrium. Disintegration of endometrium. So, menstruation is a result of what? Menstruation is a result of disintegration of endometrium. Endometrium. Disintegration of endometrium is due to what? Disintegration of endometrium is due to degeneration of corpus luteum. Disintegration of endometrium is due to degeneration of corpus luteum. Corpus luteum degenerates. Corpus luteum degenerates if absence of fertilization. Absence of fertilization. Corpus luteum degenerates if absence of fertilization. What is 50 years? 50 years. Age of menopause in females. Age of menopause in females is 50 years. Indicator of normal reproductive phase. Indicator of normal reproductive phase. Indicator of normal reproductive phase is cyclic menstruation. Cyclic menstruation. Indicator of normal menstruation. What is 4 to 5 hours? 4 to 5 hours. Napkins should be changed every 4 to 5 hours in normal menstruation. Napkins should be changed every 4 to 5 hours during normal menstruation. Menopause occurs in which age group? Menopause occurs in which age group? Menopause occurs in 50 years. That is the exact menopause. What do you mean by menopause? Menopause. Menopause means menstrual cycle stops. Menstrual cycle stops means menopause. In females, ovulation occurs in uterus. True or false? In females, ovulation occurs in the ovary. In females, ovulation occurs in the uterus. It's a wrong statement. Ovulation occurs in the ovary. In a female, fertilization occurs in the ovum. True or false? In a female, fertilization occurs in the ovum. Fertilization occurs in the fallopian tube. In females, fertilization occurs in the ovary. It is a wrong statement. It occurs in the fallopian tube. See, both questions are very confusing MCQs. See, in females, ovulation occurs in ovary. In females, ovulation occurs in ovary. In females, fertilization occurs in fallopian tube. In females, implantation occurs in fallopian tube. True or false? In females, implantation occurs in fallopian tube. True or false? In females, implantation occurs in uterus. Okay? So 3 questions are. I'll repeat all the 3 MCQs once more. In females, implantation occurs in uterus. In females, fertilization occurs in fallopian tube. In females, ovulation occurs in ovary. All the 3 are repeated MCQs. Alveoli secretes breast milk. True or false? Alveoli secrete breast milk. True or false? Alveoli secretes breast milk is a correct statement. Breast is also called what? Breast is also called mammary gland. MAMMARY. Breast is also called mammary gland. In implantation, dash is implanted. It is the blastocyst. BLASTOCYS, implantation. In implantation, dash is implanted. It is a blastocyst is implanted. Site of mitotic division in zygote. Is isthmus of oviduct. What is the question? Site of mitosis in zygote. It occurs in the oviduct. Repeated MCQ. Site of cleavage of zygote. The site of cleavage of zygote is isthmus of oviduct. So, I'll repeat all the 3 MCQs. Repeated MCQ. Site of cleavage in zygote. Is isthmus of oviduct. Site of mitotic division in zygote. Its answer is isthmus of oviduct. In implantation, dash is implanted. The correct answer is blastocyst. All the three are repeated MCQs. 2, 4, 8, 16. What is the question? 2, 4, 8, 16. What's the question? They are the daughter cells called blastomeres. They are the daughter cells called blastomeres. This is your correct choice. 2, 4, 8, 16. The correct answer is daughter cells. Daughter cells called blastomeres. Energy flow. Energy flow. ENERGY. Energy flow is a component of what? Energy flow is a component of the ecosystem. Energy flow is a component of ecosystem. Okay. See, all the MCQs I have prepared from your NCERT 12th standard textbook, and kindly share this video with your junior friends and senior friends, very important, and write some good comments about the video in the comment section. And after hearing this video, hear my part 68 in the same YouTube channel. I have given the best video in the world for you to crack NEET very easily. Okay. Purification of water. Purification of water. Purification of water by ecosystem is called what? Purification of water by ecosystem is called ecosystem service. Purification of water by the ecosystem is called ecosystem service. Species diversity decreases towards the pole. True or false? Species diversity decreases towards the pole. Species diversity decreases towards the pole. It is a true statement. Species diversity decreases towards the pole. Tropics have more evolutionary time. True or false? Tropics more evolutionary time. It is a true statement. What is the question? Tropics have more evolution time is a correct statement. Rectangular hyperbolic function. What is the question? Rectangular hyperbolic relationship. What is the question? Hyperbolic. Where do you get hyperbolic? Hyperbolic means, always remember, species area relationship. Species area relationship. Always remember the word hyperbolic. Species area relationship. Communalism is the reason for extinct of many species. True or false? Communalism is the extinction is the word, very important. EXTINCTION. Meaning is different. Communalism is the reason for extinction of many species. True or false? It is a wrong statement. The correct answer is, there are 5 reasons for extinction. Read it thoroughly. 5 reasons. These are all repeated MCQs for extinction. These are all the 5 important reasons for. What is the question? Communalism is a wrong statement. The correct reason is, these are all the 5 important reasons for extinction. Repeated MCQ point. So what is the reason for fatigue? FATIGUE. Fatigue is mainly due to altitude sickness. Or they can ask, altitude sickness causes fatigue. FATIGUE. In high altitude, there is high atmospheric pressure. True or false? In high altitude, there is high atmospheric pressure. True or false? In high altitude, there is low atmospheric pressure. In high altitude, there is low atmospheric pressure. Dispersing of seeds. Dispersing of seeds is an example of what? Dispersing of seeds. Dispersing of seeds is an example of mutualism. No logic. Mutualism. Mutualism. What is the question? Dispersion of seed is an example of mutualism. Is example of mutualism. Can you tell me the 5 reasons for extinction? So you forgot everything within 5 minutes. Can you tell me the 5 reasons for extinction? You forgot. That is why they have there is a proven study technique. 720 out of 720 top scorers, they follow this technique. 7 days continuous recall. You must hear this video for 7 days continuous. You will remember all the 100 MCQs for minimum 1 year. That is a proven method. So you practice this 7 days continuous recall in this video itself. If you don't practice 7 days continuous recall, tomorrow afternoon you will forget all the MCQs. Tomorrow afternoon you will forget all the MCQs. But if you can spend 7 days continuous recall, which is a proven method, you will remember everything for minimum 1 year. See, what is the question? Extinction. 5 reasons. Any idea? Extinction. Co-extinction. Okay. This is also MCQ only. Restriction enzymes or ligases. True or false? Restriction enzymes or ligases. Restriction enzymes or ligases. True or false? Restriction enzyme is a nucleases. Restriction enzymes are ligases. Restriction enzyme are nucleases. Cuts. Cut. Sugar phosphate backbone in DNA. Cut. Which one cut? Sugar phosphate backbone of DNA. Which one? Restriction endonucleases. Restriction endonucleases. What is the question? Cut. Palindromic. What do you mean? Can you give an example of palindromic? Palindromic. This was a repeated MCQ last year. Palindromic. Fertilized nucleases forms in the DNA. This was palindromic. So palindromic, what do you mean? Example, palindromic. The correct word, palindromic. Palindromic are restriction enzymes. Recognition site. Correct. Restriction enzyme recognition site is specific for palindromic. Restriction enzyme join DNA to plasmid. Restriction enzyme joins DNA to plasmid by restriction enzyme. True or false? Joining means always what? DNA ligase. Joining DNA ligase. Keep it in mind, okay? Joining DNA ligase. It's a wrong statement. It's a ligase. DNA fragments join in dash site. DNA fragments, the DNA fragments joins in the sticky site. DNA fragments joins in the sticky site. Virus is a decomposer in pond. True or false? Virus is a decomposer in a pond. True or false? It is never, never, never. Zooplankton is a consumer in pond. True or false? Zooplankton. He said Vovo. Zooplankton is a consumer in a pond. Consumer. Yes, it is a true statement. Zooplankton is a consumer in pond. Algae is a autotroph in plant. True or false? Algae is a autotroph in pond. True or false? This is algae is a autotroph. Algae is a autotroph in pond. Flagellates is a consumer in pond. Flagellates is a consumer in plant. Flagellates is a decomposer in plant. Flagellates is a abiotic component in a plant. What is the answer? Abiotic component in a plant is in a pond. Abiotic component in a pond is water. Shallow water body. What do you mean by a shallow water body? Shallow water body is called pond. Can you tell me the correct statement? Communalism is for extinction. Extinction. What are the reasons for extinction? Extinction. No communalism. Extinction. Name the autotrophs in plant. A pond. Autotrophs in pond. Any idea? Algae and plant. These are the autotrophs in plant. A pond, P-O-N-D. This is called autotrophs in pond. Autotrophs in pond. How to remember? There is only one technique. 7 days continuous recall. Consumers of pond. Any idea? Zooplankton, phrase this one, and bottom late kids. These are the, what is the question? Consumers of pond. Consumers of pond. Decomposers of pond. Decomposers of pond. Decomposers of pond. Fungi, bacteria, and flagellate. All the 3 MCQs, they are repeated so many times. What is the question? Decomposers of pond. What is the answer? Fungi. Okay, these are the decomposers of the plant. How to remember all those things? There is only one method, 7 days continuous recall. If you don't hear this video for 7 days, tomorrow afternoon you will forget everything. Methyl group. What is methyl group? Any idea? Repeated MCQ point. Methyl group. Added methyl group of DNA is of Escherichia coli or E. coli. Added methyl group of DNA in Escherichia coli, E. coli, coli. Added methyl group. That is the question. That's why I kept like this. Methyl group. They'll ask which group? Added methyl group of DNA. Endonuclease hind 2. What is this? Endonuclease hind 2 is related to restriction of Escherichia coli. What is the question? Endonuclease hind 2. Endonuclease hind 2. Restriction enzymes studied in Streptococcus. True or false? Restriction enzymes are studied in Escherichia coli. Or they will ask, what is studied in Escherichia coli? That time you must answer restriction enzyme. This is a very tough MCQ. When they give 4 choice, this will be the very tough MCQ. How many strains of bacteria are about in restriction enzymes? How many strains? How many strains? There are 230 strains. 230 strains. What is the question? How many? 230 strains. In echo, RI. What is echo and RI? Echo, RI. Any idea? Echo is for Escherichia coli and R is for RY13. RY13, 13. Repeated MCQ. Escherichia coli and RY13. What is the question? What is capital R? What is capital R in echo RI? Capital R is nothing but refers to the name of the strain. Name of the strain. Roman numbers in the following strain indicates what? Order in the spectrum of order. This will be the toughest MCQ for you when they ask. What is the question? Yes. What are the decomposers of pond? You forgot. That's why I'm telling you 7 days recall. You will be the master. Decomposers of pond. Any idea? Fungi, bacteria and flagella. Decomposers of pond. What are the consumers of pond? Consumers of pond. What is the in pond? What is stickiness? What is the use of stickiness? Helps DNA ligase to bind to hydrogen bond. in DNA. Helps DNA ligase to hydrogen bonding. Name 2 restriction enzymes. Not 4, 2. Okay. Name the 2 restriction enzymes. Any idea? Endonuclease, hind 2, and exonuclease. Endonucleases and exonucleases. They will ask hind 2 is a endonuclease. Separate MCQ. Endonucleases and exonucleases are the restriction enzymes. Restriction enzymes are always used to cutting, joining by ligases. Okay, joining by DNA ligase, cutting by restriction enzymes. So endonuclease and exonuclease. Hind 2 is an endonuclease. MCQ point. Escherichia coli. See, today it's very easy to answer. Today it's very easy. You must answer this even after 1 year. Then only you can answer for NEET. Escherichia coli is used to study which enzyme? Restriction enzymes. Escherichia coli is used to study endonuclease. Hind 2 is a vector. True or false? Endonuclease hind 2 is a restriction enzyme. Endonuclease hind 2 is a restriction enzyme. Restriction enzymes restrict the growth of what? Restriction enzymes inhibit the growth of what? Bacteriophage. Restriction enzymes, growth of bacteriophage. Endonuclease hind 2 is a polymerase enzyme. True or false? Endonuclease type 2 is a polymerase enzyme. Endomerase type 2 is a restriction enzyme. It is a restriction endomerase type 2. Recognition sequence for ligases. Which is the recognition sequence? Recognition sequence is for ligase. True or false? Recognition sequence is for ligases. Recognition sequence is always for endonuclease hind 2. Read the question very well. Is always for endonucleases hind 2. Restriction enzymes are isolated from yeast. True or false? Restriction enzymes are isolated from bacteria. Restriction enzymes are isolated from bacteria. Tools for genetic engineering. Tools for genetic engineering. Restriction enzymes, polymerase enzyme, ligases, vectors, host distribution, host. What is the question? What is the question? Tools for genetic engineering. Tools for genetic engineering. Sludge digesters, SLUDGE. Sludge digesters seen in where? Sludge digesters are seen in secondary treatment of sewage. Secondary. What is the question? Sludge. are found in digesters are anaerobic. Sludge digesters are anaerobic. True or false? Sludge digesters are anaerobic is a true statement. Sludge digesters are anaerobic is a true statement. Lipase loop is a hormone releasing IUD. Lipase loop. LIPPLES. Lipase loop is a hormone releasing IUD. What is IUD? Intrauterine device. Intrauterine device to prevent in contraception. Lipase loop is a non-medicated IUD. Or they will ask, which of the following is a non-medicated IUD? That time you must answer Lipase loop. Multi-load 375. Multi-load 375 is a hormone releasing IUD. True or false? Multi-load 375 is a hormone releasing IUD. True or false? It is a copper releasing IUD. It is a copper releasing IUD. Multi-load 375 is a copper releasing IUD. Cervical cap is a IUD. Cervical cap is an IUD. Intrauterine device. Cervical cap is a barrier method of contraception. These are all repeated so many times. Barrier method of contraception. What is the question? IUD prevents AIDS. IUD means intrauterine device. IUD prevents AIDS. It is a wrong statement. Condom prevents STI, sexually transmitted infections, and AIDS. Condom prevents sexually transmitted infections, STI, and AIDS, AIDS, is the correct statement. What is trophoblast? What is trophoblast? This was a repeated MCQ. Outer layer of blastocytes formed by blastomeres. Outer layer of blastomeres formed. What is the question? Trophoblast. Outer layer of blastocytes formed by blastomeres. Can you tell me this question? Tools for genetic engineering. You forgot. That is why I am telling you 7 days recall. Tools for genetic engineering. The answer is tools for genetic engineering. Tools for genetic engineering. Inner cell mass. Inner cell mass. Inner cell mass. Inner group of cells. Inner group of cells in blastomeres. Inner cell mass. inner group of cells in blastomeres. Embryo formed from inner cell mass, true or false? Next. Embryo formed from inner cell mass, true or false? It is a true statement. Embryo is formed from inner cell mass is a correct statement. Blastomeres are formed by dash process. Blastomeres are formed by dash process. Blastomeres are formed by cleavage. Or they'll ask which is formed by cleavage process. That time you must answer blastomeres. DNA fragments with sticky ends. Sticky. I told you sticky means what? DNA fragments with sticky ends are joined together by what? By DNA ligase. Always remember DNA ligase. Joining, sticking, joining, sticking means DNA ligase. Cutting means restriction enzymes. What is same site? Same site. Restriction enzymes. Restriction enzymes. Same site. What is the question? Same site. Restriction enzymes. Same. G and A only. G and A only. Any idea? ECORI. ECORI. G and A only. ECORI. G and A only. ECORAI. What do you mean by the word palindrome? Palindrome means, see, if I read Malayalam from here, if I write same spelling, if I write from this side, MALAYALAM, same thing. This is called palindromes. I made it very clear. See, Malayalam from this side, same spelling. Malayalam from that side, same spelling. That is called palindromes. I made it very clear. Better than your class ma'am. Okay, Malayalam. What is the answer? Palindromes. Very important, palindromes. There are 6 restriction enzymes. True or false? There are 6 restriction enzymes. True or false? Next. There are 900 restriction enzymes. There are 900 enzymes. Always cut DNA. I told you cut DNA. Always cut DNA at the base of the 6th pair. The 6 base pairs in MCQ. 6 separate MCQ. Okay. Cut means restriction enzyme. Okay. What is the answer? See, endonuclease type 2. It is a restriction enzyme. Endonuclease. Read the question. 6 base pair, separate MCQ. Read it thoroughly. The answer is endonuclease hind 2. Operons is for bacteria. True or false? They will ask operons is for bacteria, virus, fungus, parasite, yeast, algae, whatever one they will ask. Operons for bacteria, it is a true statement. Operon bacteria is regulated by what? That time they will keep DNA ligase, endonuclease, exonuclease, hind 2. Very specific. What is the answer? Operon regulated by lactose. This is called NEET preparation. 7 days continuous recall. Otherwise, it will be very tough for you. Lactose, operon. Now you answer this question. A polymerase is the basis for what? They will give 4 choice. How will you answer? Polymorphism. The basis for what? Polymorphism is the basis for DNA finger printing. Decomposition is done by regulators. True or false? Decomposition is done by regulators. True or false? Decomposition is done by decomposers is a correct statement. In decomposition in ecosystem, dash is decomposed. In decomposition ecosystem, that is dash is decomposed. Which is decomposed? Complex organic compounds in detritus. Complex organic compounds in detritus. What is the question? What is decomposed? Complex organic compounds detritus. What are the types of nutrient cycling? This was the beginning question. Types of nutrient cycling. Types of nutrient cycling is gaseous and sedimentary. Or they will ask, sedimentary is a type of what? That time you must answer nutrient cycling. This is how NEET. Types of nutrient cycling is gaseous and sedimentary. This was the first MCQ. Remember this? First MCQ was this one, sedimentary. What is stratification? Stratification. What is the question for stratification? Or they will ask main feature of ecosystem. That time you must answer stratification. This is called NEET preparation. Question will be like this. Main feature of ecosystem. There are so many features. Main feature of ecosystem, you must answer stratification. End product. Tell me the answer. End product of decomposition. If you don't know these 3 points, you cannot answer the MCQ. End product of decomposition. Any idea? They will give ethane, methane, chloroform, carbon dioxide. We will get confused. Carbon dioxide, water and inorganic nutrients. These are all tough MCQs. Carbon dioxide, water, inorganic nutrients. What is the question? End product of decomposition in ecosystem. Carbon dioxide, water and inorganic compounds. Don't forget the question. Question is important. End product of decomposition in ecosystem. 3 process in decomposition. 3 process in decomposition. Fragmentation, leaching and catabolism. Fragmentation, leaching and catabolism. What is the question? 3 layers of decomposition. Or they will ask, fragmentation is a part of what? That time you must answer decomposition. Or they will ask, leaching is a part of what? Decomposition. Or they will ask, catabolism is a part of what? Decomposition. That time you will not remember anything unless you Hear this video for 7 days continuously. That is I repeatedly telling you. What is the question? 3 layers, 3 of decomposition. It's very easy to answer like this. 3 is, when you come ulta, we will forget the question. Fragmentation, like leaching and catabolism are parts of decomposition. Decomposition is unidirectional. True or false? Decomposition is unidirectional. True or false? Be very careful. Energy flow is unidirectional. Energy flow is unidirectional. See what's the question? Decomposition unidirectional. You must always know the correct thing. Unidirectional. Whenever you see the word unidirectional, always think energy flow. Energy flow. Don't forget 7 days continuous recall. Kindly share this great video. Hear my next video for 7 days continuously. Stay tuned.